Coach Jordan and LaVall, why don't you start with the opening statement by Coach, and then we'll take whatever questions you have.
Yeah, we were just guys had some energy to them, especially early. Just excited to get back out and have an opponent outside of our practice, and have a sold out Hinkle Fieldhouse. I know there was a lot of energy in the building, and guys were looking forward to that as well. Tried to manage the week appropriately so that we were, as healthy as we could possibly be. And I thought, in terms of executing, guys did a fairly good job, especially on the defensive end. Granted, obviously they're a different team without Paul Reed in the mix. But we faced that one before too. It's like, we've been on that side of it with a guy in and out, or a guy out of it here or there. Last time we saw it with Georgetown missing some key pieces. We did not do a great job, and we're not as focused as we should have been. So it was an opportunity for us to respond and be better this time. And so I thought, the zone was we hadn't seen a lot of zone this year, and they did a pretty good job, and they were a little bit smaller and quicker in it because of Reed being out. And so it stymied us a little bit, but eventually guys figured it out, and we missed some open looks. But just proud of our defensive effort. I thought guys stayed in tune, kept encouraging them in timeouts to just stay the course and keep their attention on the defensive wall. And we'll find good enough opportunities on offense if we just move the ball and stay connected. So it's a good win. It's 20's something to celebrate. And obviously, for our seniors to lead us to 20 wins, and I don't think they're done yet. But that's something that I don't know if everybody celebrates as much as they should anymore. And then just to be able to get out and play our way, and really feel like we play Butler basketball again. So we got a few opportunities left, and just keep encouraging them to seize every one of them. It's limited at this point in the year, and so now they just got to embrace it and keep playing for each other.
Coach, I'll hit on the obvious. You guys held the ball to 42 points, and you forced 4 assists to 17 turnovers. Can you speak on what you liked out of your defense tonight in particular?
Yeah, I thought we had a decent attention to detail. Things changed with Reed out of the lineup. We weren't aware of that until before the tip, and so some matchups changed. Again, they were a little smaller and driving and kicking the basketball more as opposed to posting it as much as they normally do. So I thought our guys did a good job on Coleman, not giving up threes, and Moore being really good. He's such a good player in the pick and roll. You got to do a great job, and he's one of the league leaders in assists. So I thought our hands were active, and guys stayed focused on the game plan with it.
And I guess launching off of that, Kamar had 3 blocks. Sean had 2. Could you speak on maybe their help side defense to kind of come across and make those double teams inside?
Yeah, I guess it was a couple of days off. They got fresh legs, But I just thought we talked before about just motors, right? Because they're going to be smaller and quicker, and they got some guys that can drive and kick. You're going to have a motor and have to have a second and third effort. So there were some times that got in, and we were rotating around, and then they just made really good plays. But you had to have an effort to get there to make the play, and I thought our second and third effort was there today.
Did you feel refreshed after having a week off, and how did you kind of foot and ankle feel tonight?
Yeah, I felt pretty fresh out there tonight, and then ankle felt fine. Felt 100%.
It's always kind of a balance between trying to get proper rest and also be kind of rusty after you guys have a layoff. Did you feel like the Dogs at times were a little rusty on offense and defense? It didn't look like you were rusty.
Like Coach said, when DePaul went to the zone, we were a little rusty, just trying to figure it out. But I think once we did figure it out, we did a great job of moving the ball and finding the open guy, and they were knocking down shots.
Jordan, as a shooter, when you see a zone, I guess is how. You just get excited just to get that look when you have, just have an opportunity to get those kind of shots.
Yeah, sometimes it's like fool's gold because like the defense gets you trying to take threes all the time, and sometimes those shots are bad shots, and and we just had to keep in our head to just stay aggressive and try to get in the paint to create better shots.
You were 2 of 14 after missing your first threes in the last 3 games, just overall from the field. 5 points in 42 minutes. What's going through your head? And going into halftime, kind of being on such a cold stretch?
Keep shooting. I work on my shooting. I work on my game 24/7, and Coach would kill me if I stopped shooting. So
that was what was going through his head. That's what he heard.
So yeah, That's it.
Coaching anything to you at halftime, or is it?
No, but I knew in the back of my head he wants me to keep shooting. You know, that's what I'm here for. So.
Player like Sean, I feel like he kind of attacks. If he's run off the line, he attacks the rim. But for you, all your shots were threes. Is that ever a thought too that maybe you should be attacking the rim? Like
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple possessions where I felt like I could have got to the paint, and I ended up still taking it. You know, sometimes I just feel like they're not there. You know, so I just shoot it.
You've seen just Jordan embrace his role this year. First off, just knowing he's going to be coming off the bench, but it seems like he's expanded, especially his defensive game. Just how have you seen his role as a player?
Yeah, that was a big thing for Jordan coming into the season, was just being reliable defensively, and he's put in a lot of effort toward it. You know, in terms of scout report and concentration, our principles, and I think he's had a solid year in that regard. You know, not perfect by any means, but he stayed focused. You know, on the task at hand on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, it's just, you know, being confident. I think it took him a second. Coming out of the non-conference season, we had, you know, a couple good conversations. Thought he started well in the conference season. You know, then what happens is people start game planning, right? And so now it's no different than Kamar moving from, you know, Keelan Martin's gone. Now you're at the top of the scouting report. You know, Sean McDermott, last time we went up there, he got 2 threes off, you know, their game plan. So they, you know, other people have plans, and now you got to adjust. And that was my conversation with them at halftime. You got to be able to adjust in real time to what's going on. And so I think that's next step for Jordan is staying aggressive and being able to adjust. But, you know, he's done a really good job in his role.
Is the Big East Sixth Man of the Year something in your mind?
I want to win a Big East championship, so that's all we talk about.
Coach, three-point perimeter defense has been a little bit of a struggle in recent weeks, and DePaul obviously shot well from three the last time you faced them. What was sort of the adjustment that you saw in this game in limiting them from beyond the arc?
Yeah, it was a concern, especially once they were smaller. And, you know, Weems shot it in against us last time. You know, Coleman and Moore both made them. And so when they went smaller, it was a definite point of emphasis coming out of the locker room, like that, not to overhelp. We got to do a good job guarding the basketball and keeping the ball in front of us so we don't have to help too much and be really good in the pick and roll because Moore is such a good passer. And so, and then transition being the other part of that. So I thought we did a decent job, you know, especially in the pick and roll stuff. You know, we gave up a couple decent looks and they missed them. Sometimes you need them to miss. But I think our attention was there and our effort was there to get to contest shooters.
Coach, particularly against the tall zone, you guys took over 50% of your attempts today from three. Did you guys have a little bit of trouble getting inside against that, or is it more of a game plan to kind of just swing it and find the open look?
Yeah, I thought they had a lot to do with the way that they were playing the zone. You know, we were looking for some drives. They were really packed in. We were trying to feed it to the post a few times, and they did a good job. And then, you know, it's Jordan and Sean shooting the majority of them. And so, and a lot of them were really good looks. You know, some fell, some didn't. You don't want to get three dependent when they go zone. But if it's a quality shot with our guys that are supposed to be looking for that shot, you know, they got to take those and take them with confidence.
And then watching off of that, Thompson did a really nice job tonight getting underneath the basket and making some kicks, getting some extra passes to the wing. How important is it to you guys when he's able to get into the paint, draw 5 fouls, and create from there?
Huge. You know, he had to make an adjustment as well. I called him over because he was frustrated early. But they were really fanning out and playing him as a passer, and which is what he's really good at. And so, you know, told him, Aaron, you're gonna have to drive it and get to the paint, make good decisions, keep your dribble alive. And I thought he made the adjustment. You know, they were jumping passing lanes, so he couldn't swing the ball to Jordan or Kamar, and kind of forcing them to drive it in there. So he did a good job of using his strength. You know, he's putting time in the weight room to be as strong as he possibly can, and holding his ground and getting to the foul line. Thanks a lot.